Microdose, yeah. Microdose, 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 dose. Microdose, microdose, dose. Microdose, microdose, dose.
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. Special 3-year lockdown anniversary edition. And hey, why not celebrate with two of my best friends? They are from the Overlook Theater. They are celebrating UFF number 666. Terrell Trotty and Lord Battle himself, Russell Fischer. What's good, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, brother? How you been?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. We brought you in for two reasons. In fact, you were kind of surprised, but like, oh yeah, that is a thing we should talk about. So UF 666 is right around the corner, but we're going to end the show tonight. I never project this, never call my shot, but we're going to be doing a spoiler discussion of Scream 6. So, folks, if you're a fan of Scream 6 and you haven't seen it yet, which if you're a fan of it, why are you a week late? Honestly,
Period.
But you just chime out now. Just chime out now. Catch up in a week or so or whatever. Don't listen to this episode till after you've seen Scream 6. So just to get it out of the way, like I said, Russell Fischer, Lord Battle, Terrell Trotty. You can find them on Twitter at Overlook Theater, or you want to get to know Terrell on Twitter at Terrell. That's 2 R's, 2 E's, 2 L's, 826, and on Instagram at Terrell, 2 R's, 2 E's, 2 L's, 88. And of course, the YouTube channel is the Overlook Theater. We're talking Unnamed Footage Festival.com. 666, guys.
Yes.
Now,
a lot of
stupid question. Do I need to have seen the first 665 to know what's going on in this edition?
You don't want to take that, Terrell? No, because you're all you need to do is reject the gift that God gave you and come to the film fest and worship Satan.
Period. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Wow, absolutely nothing out of you, Kai? Dude, what the hell, Kush?
What? I said Hail Satan.
Okay,
Yes.
fine. You're coming this year, right?
I come every year. I am not going to be able to make
Oh, I bet
Sunday's
you do.
edition. I will be there for Friday and Saturday.
Ooh, Sunday got some good stuff though.
Sunday
And we're
has some
ending with
work,
Horror
though.
in the High Desert 2. I'm excited for that.
Okay. I unfortunately, work comes first. They booked me first, and then you guys announced your dates, and I was like, well, I can't sit this one out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have the normal 9 to 5 that you guys do. Like,
Yeah, you gotta make
there's
your
no
coins.
job
We
for me
get it.
on Monday. So, guys, UFF 666. This is it's taking on a life of its own. It gets bigger every year, and you've got nearly a full week. I'm kind of disappointed you guys don't have 6 days of activities, but I guess you can only just do so much right now. You got 5 days, which is close enough. Tuesday, March 21st. Those in San Francisco, go to the Alamo Draft House and watch the original Cloverfield.
Yes.
Cloverfield, I got mixed emotions on. Why did we choose it for this edition?
Well, Cloverfield. Okay, we're lucky enough
Break it
to
down.
partner with the Alamo every year. I
Nice.
think we've done that for like 2 years now, and honestly, I just huddled with Jake and I threw him out a list of movies that were guaranteed to screen to an empty theater because nobody's ever heard of them. And he came back at me with some, and then I was like, hey, there was definitely a crossover, and it was Cloverfield. And the reason I was thinking we got to do Cloverfield is, one, it's a movie that people haven't really gave any kind of like academic love to. There's been no thought on the film. It was kind of panned when it came out. It also came out in like the height of stigma with found footage. And I think it's time to like give it another look. Also, we're showing it on 35 millimeter, and it's an anniversary. So it's kind of like all those beautiful stars that have lined up. Plus, like, did you watch Cloverfield when it came out in the theaters originally?
I did not see Cloverfield in the theaters, but while Cloverfield was in the theater, I did it the proper way, and I saw a bootleg of Cloverfield. So I got the
God.
full immersion experience. We found that footage, motherfucker. And I was just like, I'm into this, and I hate that my screen keeps refreshing or buffering, and it's like, but it was the truest of found footage for my experience.
Yeah,
There's all this fun lore behind it too. You're like, what is going on? Why is like parasites just and like you do some deep dives, and like there are Reddit threads, and like, oh, hey, did you know J.J. Abrams like put out like a small manga to accompany this? Like, no, I did not know that. What? Like there's all this like just hidden Easter eggs within it, which is why I found footage so much fun was just like uncovering these little mysteries. So
Yeah, it's also kind of like the perfect platform to, I mean, at the Alamo, if you want to know, if you want to go behind the curtain, it's kind of our attempt at reaching a broad audience, like people who probably haven't seen our flyers or don't listen to the show or haven't attended any of the online events. And we get to kind of hit this new crowd who doesn't know what they're in for. And, you know, especially with this screening, I want to hit them up top and be like, hey, who knows Godzilla? And everybody does. But it's like, has Godzilla ever scared you? And I mean, would you even think of it as like a horror film? I mean, Godzilla is about as scary as Ultraman, which is not at all. And, you know, we use the medium here, and we get the point of view of a person in a building during a kaiju attack. And it kind of changes everything. And I remember coming out of the movie and just looking at the horizon. I mean, we're lucky enough to be out here in California, and I get to look at the coast. And I just remember thinking, God, what if something came out of there that was as big as the horizon? And it's just it's a terrifying thing. Yeah. And in the Alamo and 35 millimeter, it's kind of like that's as close as we're going to get to it. So I don't know. I'm really pumped about that. I know it's kind of a I don't know. I dare I say like basic bitch. It's like everybody knows that film, but we're also showing Paranormal Activity. So I mean, pick your battles.
I was going to bring up Paranormal Activity. I love Paranormal Activity. I love the series Paranormal Activity. And I think where Cloverfield went wrong was like, let's just try and make this an anthology. No, motherfucker, I want to see the monster. But I don't want to see the monster at the end of the space adventure. I want to anyway, Paranormal Activity is, so we're gonna jump ahead real quick. That's Paranormal Activity is what? That's Saturday? No, it's Friday. Friday at the Balboa. So is this the theatrical version? Is this the original version, or is this the festival version? Because there are 3 endings to that first movie.
You know what's funny? Again, let's go behind the curtain. Paranormal Activity was actually a late edition. Man, with the retro screenings, we always want to be kind of thoughtful and kind of challenge our own program. And Paranormal, again, it's another movie that didn't get a lot of academic love, especially coming out, it was 2007. Fucking Blair Witch has multiple books written about it. And then Paranormal Activity comes out and it gets a couple essays. There's really not a lot. So when we're like thinking about it, we're like, is now the time? Honestly, you want to know what locked it for us? Most of the filmmakers here that are attending, because we have a lot of directors coming out, they've never seen it in the theater.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, okay.
Actually, same.
Dude, yeah, and it's like, well, here's a chance, because
it's great in the theater.
Yeah, repertory programming, people are not putting Paranormal Activity, at least the original, in there. Also, it's got like a religious leaning to it, so it kind of is perfect. And you know, I'm saying all this to get to we just kind of finished negotiating with the studio, because again, it's Paramount. So I'm actually not sure what version we're doing. I would guess
if it's Paramount, it's the theatrical
one.
It's probably theatrical. Yeah. I will say that we're going for the DCP here, so it should look good.
Nice.
I mean, well, as good as the security camera at night can look, but it should sound really good too.
I love those movies. I was so invested in those when those first came out, like yearly. I was like, okay, so what's gonna happen next? And I was like trying to figure it out, you know, like the whole Toby thing. And it has a lot of religious stuff to it. Even in the first one, I was about to say, maybe it doesn't start to like the third. It does. The first one has a lot of religious stuff. So the crosses, the mark that's on her toward the end of the film. Katie, I don't know. I love that movie, and I'm excited to rewatch it in the theater.
It's funny because religion. So we're dealing with like a middle class family in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think it actually, you know, Kush, you're talking about the third year anniversary of being out of lockdown. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. In fact, I think it ends literally on Friday.
Friday. And it's like, well, here, it's perfect, because this movie isn't a lockdown film, but it might as well be, where we have a couple living in a big house. They're making more. One of the most interesting things I've seen written about Paranormal Activity is that it's a moral tale about a couple living above their middle class means, which is basically they have a huge house, but it's not filled with anybody.
No,
they got kind of like sparse furniture.
I think they just moved in too, right? Or she moved in with him.
Yeah, and it's kind of a tale, like if we look at it, about people who kind of don't have a lot going on, and they got a lot of technology, and they're figuring out something to do.
Yeah,
and it kind of spirals into anxiety and potentially paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Which is the nightmare of anybody living in a giant house with their couple not
all that
doing anything.
extra space and
Yeah, I don't know. It should be fun. And honestly, I think I'll probably reach out now and see what kind of cut we're getting. How cool would that be if it was like the non-Spielberg
that'd be
ending?
great. Yeah, no, that'd be great. But
the non-Spielberg ending is still creepy, but yeah, that original cut, and no pun intended, like that thing is terrifying. It's when we booked it, I started reading about it again. So I pulled out my books and I was looking it up. That fucking movie was made for half the budget of the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
But it grossed.
It made a lot.
Dude, in like 2011, I think it was estimated to have over $1 billion.
Damn.
The franchise.
Wow.
But dude,
I believe it every year though. It was the new Saw.
Yeah, well, they kept it out and they kept building. But the thing is, people still talk about the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity's kind of been turned into like, I don't know, just a horror franchise that people don't really love.
I know, like I've done a lot of streams recently, and the new box set for that came out, and I was super excited about it.
Yeah,
and I talked about it numerous times, and I remember I did a lot of streams, and a lot of people, all the other blue tubers, I know you shaded that on the Overlook Hour, but yeah, they were all like, "Oh, we don't like Paranormal Activity," but a lot of them bought it, so it was really, I don't know,
weird.
Yes,
so weird.
Dude, how incredible was that? Because you bought it, and then it's an undeniable box set.
Yes, it's
so they
great.
all bought it.
They all bought it,
and then they watched
and they
it,
trashed
and
it.
they're just like, "I hate all the movies."
Yes,
that's so dumb.
Well, my job was done, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah. Terrell, which is your favorite of the 6 Paranormal Activities? I guess there's a 7th one, isn't there?
Yeah, the next of kin. I don't know. I think the original, because that one sits with me the most. I saw it twice, and I had a crazy experience the first time. I was super scared. I didn't think I would be. I was like, "Oh, this ain't gonna be that scary," and I was terrified of that fucking movie. Like, you go to sleep and this shit's moving. That's a fear of mine. Because when I was younger, I did do the Ouija board, and things did happen. And I still think about that to this day. But watching that, and then I went home. My door was wide open. It was scary, and then I went to bed watching the Flintstones. I remember that day like it was yesterday. The lights was on. I had the Flintstones on.
You definitely need to decompress.
Yes, definitely.
Like yes, I totally understand.
Her Fred yelling at Wilma, like that's what I was listening to. I had to do something.
Yeah. My favorite Paranormal Activity. Well, I love the first one. Like I watched it countless times. Again, my Paranormal Activity experience for the first 3 movies was much like my Cloverfield experience, where it was a bootleg on my laptop. Mostly through a website that doesn't exist anymore called Justin TV. You now know it as Twitch TV. But when it was Justin TV, all the Russian bootlegs that existed were on that site. So like Paranormal Activity, day of, you could see it. And finally I'd see part 4 in the theater. That was my first theatrical experience. But the marked ones. The marked ones
that one
is my favorite.
How did I not say that? Marked ones is like in my top 3. It's 1, marked ones, and part 3. Those are my favorites. Marked ones is great. Cool. That's arguably my favorite one. How did I forget that? Marked ones was amazing. I think that's Russell's favorite, right?
Maybe. I kind of feel like I don't know, like a traitor when I say the marked ones is my favorite. They don't even give it an official number.
I know.
And
spin-off, but that's the twist though, because it connects to the first movie.
Yeah,
it connects to the first. It's beautiful. Yeah, fucking. We discovered time travel. We can time travel with these witches. Hell yeah!
Actually, it is funny. Paranormal Activity might be one of the only horror franchises that I know that has 2 films in it that they ignore. Because part 2, Tokyo Night, they don't count
they
that.
Ignore that. Yep.
That's actually,
and I like that.
Yeah,
that was great. I saw that for the first time at the Unnamed Footage Festival. I did.
I was supposed to see it at Unnamed Footage Festival, and I literally missed it. I just slept in. I think I was hungover that morning.
It was great. It was in the morning. Yep.
Well, don't worry. I fucked up that screening. The disc needed to be cleaned, and it didn't play like the last minute of it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because we're an indie film fest. Raw shit happens.
Kush
knows.
Was it Up 2?
I think it was Up 2.
Yeah.
Up 2. Up 2. But one thing I also liked about the marked ones is this was a time where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just growing its roots, but like Oren Peli is like, fuck the MCU, dude. I'm gonna split off 6 Paranormal Activities. We're gonna have some Latinos. I'm gonna have some voodoo. Like, you don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Like, I make these movies for 5. What's in my pocket? Like, we're gonna do all the Paranormal Activities, and then it just ended after 3D.
Yep. 6. Yeah.
That is part 6.
5. Then they did the Ghost
Dimension. The Ghost Dimension. Dude, that was good in 3D too.
Because 3D was fun.
Did you watch it out here? I think it played at the Metreon only.
Yeah, we had to travel.
Dude, we went back-to-back days because they wouldn't give us the fucking t-shirt.
Yeah, there was a whole booth. There was a long-ass line. You had to go play some game or watch some fucking video in a booth that you get a free t-shirt, which glows in the dark, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so we were trying to get one. The line was too long. We left. We went back the next day, and I think she just had to sign something, right? And then she just gave it to us.
Well, there were people in front of us.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, they're here first.
Yeah.
But then we're like, okay. And they were taking hella long.
Yeah.
So we're like, do we have to?
We
She's
just
like, you
wanted
have to
the
play
shirt.
the game.
Yeah.
So we left, came back, and they were still there. And she was just like, here, just sign this. And you can take
that's what it was.
We also got a poster,
Yep.
which was a weird, like, it looked like a poster to be hanging at FYE.
Yeah.
It had all the movies on it.
Oh,
It was just
yeah. Yep.
That is
The
weird.
poster was kind of whack. Actually, I think I have a couple of them if you want one.
They were
Kush.
trying to go out with a bang with that last movie, and then you finally see Toby in his corporeal self. Remember that? We just see his feet.
Well, just his legs. Yeah.
His legs.
I like that movie though.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the altered camera can like look into other dimensions. I thought I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Did you like
It was
4?
an interesting idea. I like all of them.
Part
I like
4.
all of them.
I'll go ahead right now. Normally, I'm like, I love horror movies. I love the whole franchise. Part 4 is whack.
It's so
I
bad.
will say-
I tried to rewatch it.
Dude, we had Nick
It's vanilla,
Roth
sure.
on the Overlook Hour, who was the creator of Ghost Adventures, and I finally got to ask him because I had this theory forever that they had ripped off Part 4 because if you remember the Xbox Connect, they had that infrared thing. And I remember Ghost Adventure started using it. And I'm like, these motherfuckers saw Paranormal Activity 4 and said, let's bring it.
Yep.
And so I asked him, and Nick was like, I already left the show by then because he split off. But he's like, honest. Oh, no. He did. He said it wasn't me. It was a different producer. And he was like, dude, it's pseudoscience anyway. So we just try shit. I'm like, hey, man, kudos.
Yeah.
But they did. It's so, I mean, Ghost Adventure is the biggest fucking paranormal show.
You did bring that up. I forgot. Part 4 with the Xbox.
Dude, that was a bucket list thing for me to ask because that was my theory. My conspiracy theory forever. I'm like, Paranormal Activity 4 affected Ghost Adventures, dude.
Yeah, why not?
I know we're in the weeds, Kush.
That's all right. Dude, you guys are all over the place this year. It feels like there's a different location almost every night. So again, the 21st, you're at the Alamo Draft House.
Yep.
The 23rd, you're back at the Artists Television Access. That's at Valencia and 21st. You're going to be watching a movie called Mean Spirited, and one of your festival producers, Madeline Costner, DVD box set herself, has some work done as producers. What did she do with this?
She did some special effects for them. Well, then I'll let you know, Mean Spirited is not up for an award because we didn't want anybody to say that there would be some like biased or inside trading. But
That's fair.
are you going to come out on Thursday?
TBD.
You should.
But I would like to
I'm
be there Friday and
supposedly
Saturday.
co-hosting.
Yeah, Terrell's going to be up there intro and shit.
Okay.
It'd be fun.
And
it's practice for Monday.
we're going to be drinking. Yeah,
When
plug
are we
Monday.
not drinking? What's
Dude.
Monday?
Well, Monday, so you know Peaches Christ?
I know the
Midnight
name.
Mass. Yeah, she invited me to, or Joshua Grinnell invited me to be a guest on their Midnight Mass podcast live, and they're showing Fright Night. So we're gonna be talking Fright Night. I'm hella nervous to be on stage. It's gonna be at the Roxy Monday the 27th. So we have 5 days of the fest, but you can kind of say it's 6 because the Overlook, the Overlook Theater with me,
we're gonna be there.
You're gonna be there. Is at Roxy the day after the fest. So I'll be up there and I'm talking with other horror nerds and talking about Fright Night. I'm excited. On stage though, this is huge.
Movie.
Yes. I know.
You should come out. It's at the Roxy. It's Monday at what, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
I got work Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, so I would love to be there.
Okay.
Fright Night is an amazing film too, like
Hell
the original Fright Night. That the new one with Colin Farrell, that was okay too, but that original Fright Night, like that thing still holds up.
Yep.
Not only does it hold up, but when we get to Fright Night 2 and they do the previously on Fright Night montage, you're like, oh shit, like let's kill some fucking vampires here, dude. Like, what's going on?
Dude, I've never seen Fright Night 2.
You haven't?
Have you?
I have it on Blu-ray. I don't think I've watched
it. On,
it's with the girl.
They put it on Blu-ray?
No, it's a bootleg.
Oh, okay. I remember at Rasputin in Berkeley, they had a DVD copy there, and it was there for years because it was $65 fucking dollars.
Wow.
Out of print. Yeah. and so I never watched it. But
wanna
where'd
say
you get the bootleg?
I want to say Scream Factory might have put it out. Sneaky original from the original. Hold on, let me just double check real quick. I'm not being recorded, am I? Because I got in trouble last looking at my
phone. We'll bleep something out here. So
no, he's fine.
While Terrell's looking that up,
yes,
Friday, you guys are back at the Balboa, but this year you guys are doing the 4-star theater, Clement and 23rd Avenue, for those in San Francisco. I'm very excited about this location because this was a place where, like, for a year straight, me and my friends, we would all go to the 4-star like Friday at midnight. Maybe it was Saturday at midnight, but they would do like special kung fu films or movies straight out of Hong Kong. So like we saw like all the John Woo films there. We saw all the Chow Yun Fat films, just movies with gentlemen who I can't even pronounce. Academy Award winning Michelle Yeoh. We saw her in the Heroic Trio there. That thing was amazing. And now, first off, there was for a split second, like pre-pandemic, the 4-star closed. And apparently it's got some new owners or whatever the case is, but it is open for UF 666. And what can you tell us about the 4-star? Like,
well,
how much remodeling went on? Because that thing was a shoebox.
3 newborns had to die, and we painted a pentagram in blood. And the devil came and he said, "I will reopen the 4-star for you and your." Well, no, what happened is the owner of the Balboa bought it. So they renovated it. It's got new projectors in there. They actually got rid of the little theater and they're turning it into like a gallery space. So this year at
one screen. And I mean, you went there before. That one big screen is so beautiful. And dude, they're giving it love. So now, you know, when we were at the Balboa all weekend, we kind of shared the theater and we had there'd be one screen showing gnarly stuff.
Marvel next door,
dude. The best was when we were showing "And Be My Cat," a Romanian found footage film that features a lot of women screaming very loudly, and next to it was Lego Movie.
Oh,
full of little kids.
Easter. That was an Easter thing.
Dude,
Easter bunny.
Oh my god!
Remember that?
Like, as cool as that sounds, it is nice to know that we're gonna have a weekend in a theater where we're the only thing happening.
Yeah.
And because they removed that little screen, we're gonna have I think 3, 4, maybe 5 tables in there, however many we can fit. So hopefully we're gonna have some cool vendors in there. It's gonna be
cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
No, I remember the 4-star. Like, it's been over 20 years since I've been to the 4-star, but I remember it was 2 very narrow theaters, and you know, you're talking like maybe 20 people per screen.
Oh, really? I haven't.
And then, like, if you just lean against the wall, like, it buckled. Like, you lean too hard, you might also like, oh shit, now I'm watching Adventures in Babysitting. Like,
no.
Oh wow, that's how it is.
Well, hold on. So
that's how it was.
So if you're in the Bay Area, the best way to describe it would be that it's like the Little Roxy if they had like absolutely no money, and it felt like kind of run down. And and here's the thing, you have been there, Terrell.
I don't remember.
I know, and it's funny because Kush, you remember it the way that I thought it was going to be, where on back in the day there were 2 screens, and if you went in the right door, it was a little tiny theater. The projection was off the screen. The sound felt like it was coming out of a sound bar.
Oh wow!
Everything was jacked up. And one day, Terrell, we went with Oksana.
What did we see?
We brought alcohol. You don't remember when we went in the left
There's
door?
Plenty of days we brought alcohol to movies,
and it was 137 seat theater that was empty.
Okay,
and we were watching a new Lin Shaye movie.
Oh, the church. Oh, we did go there. That shit was fucked up. The sound was off. We were reading lips. Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember this. It was yesterday.
So you remember now.
We were just laughing the whole time.
But here's the thing. That's kind of the impact the 4-star had. Like you said, Kush, back in the day, they were one of like 2 theaters in California that had the license with the Shaw Brothers, and they got like all these great films. They did a lot of local cinema. They did a lot of Chinatown stuff. And then it kind of just turned into a weird indie theater. And I mean, in the Bay Area, that market's already cornered. We have so many independent theaters, and they just went under. But now it's coming back as 1 screen. And the neighborhood, man,
137 seats though.
And guess it's sold out. Like not our fest. I'm hoping. But when we went out there for another Hole in the Head, and dude, it's crazy. They would be showing like a gnarly, like unearthed release horror movie, and there'd be like 18 people in there, like scary motherfuckers like us.
Oh.
And then, the screen before that had over 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a trip, dude. It's going to be fun.
Going back to the Balboa, like I specifically remember last year, I couldn't tell you what was happening in the other theater, except we'd be watching our movie. It's all quiet. Again, it's all found footage. So there's not supposed to be like any background music, but then the Batman's playing next door. So like,
oh, what's Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
like,
that because I sit right by that wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. And it just like couldn't help but laugh. Just like we're supposed to be watching this like really intense scene, and then also boom, boom, boom. I'm like, but
Dude.
now that you're talking about like, yeah, now I'm picturing the Lego movie having everything is awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
I
don't remember the Lego movie next door, but I remember that
Well,
year.
even if that wasn't the Lego movie, like just still like whatever it would be, just
yeah.
Oh, it definitely was the Lego movie.
That's hella funny.
okay.
No, and the thing that I remember that haunted me was if you're in the big theater at the Balboa, do you remember the doors? They would make a doo-doo.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Man, it would drive me crazy.
Yep.
And for a couple screenings, I stood by the door to catch it.
Yeah, because it does make the noise when they.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're standing there. All right.
Yeah,
You always stood by the
Sometimes,
door, though, every year.
Well, the other thing is when you run a film fest, this is a weird thing, but you never worry about a movie playing until it's like your event. And then you're, like I said, I've been the fault before where I bring my bootleg Tokyo night and it doesn't finish the ending. So then that starts to linger in the back of your head and you're like, oh my God, is this going to play? Thankfully, though, we've gotten better.
Yeah.
You just got to triple check the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. A little organization never hurt nobody. So, I feel like we could do another half hour on this. We could do probably 3 hours on this. I've got a whole list here, but is there anything specific that folks should be coming to UF 666 specifically for? Like, again, Safe Word. I think that's in the slot of always the wildest film of UFF. Like, again, The Curse of La Llorona from UF 3 is still my favorite Saturday night.
That was great. I had my Hennessy for that.
Now, I'll tell you right now, I'm glad you brought that up.
Her cry, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because this year, Saturday was always kind of like a wind down movie, like indie. We kind of like would highlight low budget, no rule filmmaking, and these would usually be kind of like chaotic fucking movies.
Like what was last year? Like the Z one with the yellow, the book, those ladies, those old ladies.
What the hell?
Oh yeah,
you loved it.
Man, I can't remember the name.
Zio something.
I'll circle back to it.
Okay,
I gotta look it up. The thing is, this year we're not doing that. So
I know.
No. This year,
what the fuck, cunt?
So, Safe Word is the newest film from Koji Shirashi, who is the undisputed king of found footage horror out of Japan. Now, you guys probably know him for Norai the Curse.
Oh yeah,
he did A Record of Sweet Murder.
Okay,
he's done a million things. This is his new movie. It's a faux doc about a pro wrestler who was trying to become an idol. She's trying to become an idol in Japan, but
she's a wrestler.
She gets enticed by the I'm going to call it the underworld, by the underworld of S&M.
Oh, so I like that.
So she's an indie pro wrestler. I get it.
Here's the thing. It is well, she was, and she wants to become an idol, but she ends up getting caught in this like the world of like dominatrix and subs, and it's a faux doc.
Is it subtitled?
I think it's a real doc. So I'm not going to name names, but there are indie pro wrestling women who are good enough to be in the WWE, but they have an OnlyFans account, and while they get regular bookings,
they're gonna get Mandy
they
Rose.
also do some other wild shit. And,
they're gonna get Mandy Rose.
Yeah, Terrell sent me all those photos.
With her leak shit.
I think I've heard the name Mandy Rose, but I
was on NXT. Pick her out of the lineup. Women's champion for so long until
take your word for it.
But she wasn't on OnlyFans, right? She had like
it was some other mom and pop type of thing. Something that
she has her own thing.
Be hidden, trying to get some extra coin. But they found out.
There's a thing in the super duper indie-rific part of pro wrestling called custom matches, where you're you, and you go, hey promoter, here's $2,000, and I want to see a pro wrestling match between Lady X and Lady Y, and it's just in their bedroom. There's pillow fight. Like the dude literally scripts it out, but it's basically his sexual fantasy, and like there are limits to like, yeah, we're not showing titties or bush or anything. Like we'll do a wrestling match, but that's about it, and it's called custom matches. So
and these happen in like genre. Saudi Arabia,
Dubai.
These happen in the United States of America.
Oh wow!
Oh, they too cheap. They got to get that Beyonce money, $35 million to come out there and do it for an oil prince.
Well, I'm sure the oil prince doesn't post that shit online.
Oh no, I'm sure they didn't share that Beyonce one either.
But that safe word sounds interesting, y'all. I'm excited for that movie.
Now, safe word, it is pretty much a pink film. So you know, we're gonna the reason we're showing it.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
it's a
sexual.
It is sexual.
Uh-huh.
It's sexual, like a lady.
Yeah, it's a lady.
What's the easiest way to put it? It's kind of like a softcore porn.
Oh, it sounds like it's Skinamax.
So the reason that it's nested at the end of Saturday night is because the movie's a little titillating.
What does that mean?
It's hot.
It's gonna make people get aroused.
It might.
Little sexy.
Other people.
It's actually, you know, my newborn son. I think it might have been one of his first movies he watched.
Oh my god! You let Cliff watch this? The Cliff stuff? He didn't watch that.
Hey, we had to watch it. We had to screen it for the film. I said, "You want to watch a new Koji Shirashi?"
We're gonna cut this out. Child Protective Services, do not listen to this episode. God. Do not listen to this episode.
He is a Scorpio, though. He's starting him early, too early.
Yeah. So this one is it's a legitimate, like, I'll tell you, we paid money to show this movie.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So what other standouts are there?
Okay, if I had to pick, well, here's the other thing. So Terrell, he's actually the head of our jury, which we got a lot of filmmakers this year. We're going to release that probably within the week.
Nice.
One of my favorite authors is on the panel. I'm excited. I'd be nervous. I'm glad I'm not doing it. You are.
Bitch, I'm always nervous.
She wrote a damn book on found footage.
Wow.
No, that's just a little hint. But because Terrell's on the jury, you haven't seen any of the movies.
No.
So I have it pulled up here.
Which is good. I like that.
Is there anything you want to know? Pick like two. And then I'll talk about them.
I just want you, like, you know how I am. Like, pick two that you think that I'm going to be super excited for, so I can go into something. Okay, this is the one he said. Like,
okay,
pick two.
Something you're gonna love. I think. Okay, now talking Terrell. Now these are very horror forward, very true to form found footage horror. That's I think
my alley.
One of them you're gonna love is hashtag Chad Gets the Axe.
Okay,
I have that on my list here. What's
that?
Oh, nice.
It's a live stream, and
what?
So we watched Deadstream.
Yeah, I love Deadstream.
Did you see that, Kush?
I want to say I did.
I didn't like the character at first, but
so Deadstream is it's a live stream that happens. It's a dude doing a overnight stay in a haunted house, and it gets a little Evil Dead. I'm gonna say I really like Deadstream.
Me too. I had to buy that on Stinky Tone.
I think I like Chad Gets the Axe more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a very horror forward. So that one, that's easy. I don't really need to like get more into that. And Kush, you're gonna be here on Saturday.
Yeah, what's on Saturday he'll like?
So I don't normally do this. If I'm honest, whenever I go to a film fest, I tend to avoid the shorts.
Oh,
and here's the thing.
I mean, the shorts are a smoke break, short film. I get it. Pitch a short film.
Exactly, but. Now I'm gonna push back on that because one of my favorite films this year is actually at the beginning of one of our short blocks.
Oh,
now
wow.
We actually have two short blocks. One of them we're calling the Broadcast from Hell. These are all horror shorts. Terrell just saw a picture of one of the actors in one, and you're very into him. That's The Fallen Woman. So that's the first one in the horror short.
Okay.
That was for Terrell. Now, but Kush, there's our second short block. It's called open bracket file _ corrupt close bracket dot shorts. This is our hybrid short block. That means there's elements of found footage that are very important, but we also have traditional narrative involved. We opened that one up. Now, if you thought that title was fun, the short that we open it up with is digital video editing with Adobe Premiere Pro, the real world guide to setup and workflow. This is a 40-minute short. Which might
40 minutes.
Which might sound.
It's as long as the goddamn title.
An episode of fucking Last of Us.
Here's the
Drag
thing.
Race.
Now I'm gonna say this. This came out of Korea. If you're a film fan, you know Korea's killing it right now.
Korea, get your shit together. What the hell?
Dude, this short is not long enough. It should have been a fucking feature.
What in the RRR? This shit is long as hell for a short
Dude,
film.
it might be. It's one of my favorite things we're showing.
Why? And I gotta read too, I bet.
Do you want to know the premise?
I gotta read.
Here's the premise.
Okay.
Now, Terrell thinks editing's really easy.
No, I don't.
He guilt sucks on all the time for not doing
I don't. No, because when there's important stuff, it's always late. That's why I'm asking. Do I ever ask about that? I never ask.
Here's the thing. This short is about a director reaching out and hiring the best editor in town.
Mm-hmm.
And because he needs help. And he starts showing the movie. So what we see is it's screen life.
Yeah.
We're looking at the computer. And there's a cute couple. They're at a table and they're talking. And it's, cross cameras, cut, people are talking. And then in one of the cuts, there's a lady standing behind one of the actors with a mouthful of blood. And the editor pauses it and goes, "Oh, I didn't know this was a horror movie. That's a weird twist."
Oh,
and the director says, it's not a horror movie. That's actually a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that this ghost shows up in all of our best scenes. Oh. So I need you to figure out how to edit them out. It is so fucking good. When I was watching it, I got jealous that I didn't come up with that fucking idea. Dude, it's such a good idea.
On the Overlook Hour, y'all didn't listen to that too. But yeah, you talked about this.
Yeah, dude,
and I
love
was like,
it.
what is he talking about? And I didn't realize it was one of the shorts.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm using this time for it. It's
okay.
Stay for that shorts block. It's so good. Also, we have a Brian Lanano short, the creator of Gwilliam.
Oh yeah.
Yep, we got one of his shorts in there too. So, yeah, Kush, I'm bummed, man. You can't miss anything this year, and you're missing a whole goddamn day.
I'm missing a whole day. First time in 6 years. So
I know I can't guilt you.
Daddy's got to pay the bills here. But guys, UnnamedFootageFestival.com. Get your tickets there, or you can get them at the door. But if you get them in advance, $90 gets you access to all the last 4 days, last 4 out of 5 days. Of course, the Cloverfield film is a whole separate event, but it's still part of this Super Bowl of found footage. Again, tickets, Unnamed Footage Festival. You can find them on Twitter at Overlook Theater. Terrell is at Twitter at Terrell, 2 E's, 2 R's, 2 L's, 826. Guys, let's get into this spoiler discussion of Scream Part 6.
All right, let's do it.
So, if you haven't seen Scream 6, tap out now. If you didn't already, tap out now. You've been forewarned, but we're talking all the spoilers. And just a forewarning, I didn't see Scream 5. I like the Scream franchise.
Okay.
I love the first Scream film. I tolerated the first 2. I was in a position where I could only see Part 4 on bootleg. Again, JTV, thank you very much. Salute Mother Russia. But then Part 5, I think I had COVID that week. So I didn't go anywhere. And they're just like, yeah, I don't care. It's Scream. I don't care. But
it's
Scream
on
6,
Paramount Plus.
No Nev Campbell.
Brand
new location
on
for the
Tubi.
first time in 5 movies, and this is a completely different film. Much like Creed 3, this is the first time we don't have our main principal star. So Terrell, you're the biggest fan of this. What did you think of Scream 6?
I loved it. To keep it short, I loved everything about it. I love the franchise, and this is the second time they went out of Woodsboro. The first was in Part 3. They're in Hollywood, by the way. Miss Gail Weathers with those
that's right.
Rings. They were in Hollywood, and that's when Sydney went into hiding, and she was brought back due to her friends being terrorized by this killer who's after her. So this is the second time that they're outside of the Woodsboro, and it's the first time without Nev. And this was great. I mean, I loved everything about it. These characters. I hated Sam from Part 5. You didn't watch 5, so we can't really connect. But Sam, she sold everything for me in this movie. I loved her badassery. I like that this final girl has this dark side. If listeners listening, if you guys seen Part 5, Sam Carpenter is the daughter of Billy Loomis. Billy Loomis is the original killer in the first film, and now she has this big history with that, and she has these dark tendencies, and she kind of likes it. Like throughout the film, there's different moments where she's like feeding into this evilness, right, Russ?
Oh yeah.
And at the end, spoilers quick, we're just rewinding, but when she was holding the mask and after like she was like, you know, stabbing people the fuck up, she held that mask for a while, and the bloody mask, the original mask, and she looked at it. She looked like she wanted to do some shit with this. She was like, keep it. I don't know. But then her sister, but I noticed I liked her bond with Tara, her sister. Her sister keeps her sane, I feel like. Watching it 2 times already, every time that she had these dark moments, Tara would pop up and she would snap out of it. When she was about to take out the killer, there was a moment where she was going to like spare him when she saw Tara. Tara walked in looking at her like, okay. And she was like, oh, you know, you know, and then she looked at her like, oh, you know, you're going to kill him, right? And, you know, like he fucked with her family. And that's what triggered her, I feel like gets her back to saying, like, at the end, she was looking at that mask and had that weird music. And then Tara was like, are we going to go? And she looked up, she snapped out of it. Acting was great. Melissa Barrera, turn up, because I talked so much shit about her. I'm probably her least fan of the first film. I talked so much shit about her.
Yeah, we all did.
Really?
Little notes like that I noticed. And I don't know if you noticed that either, Russell, when you watched it, every time that she had that dark side. Oh, and the part when she was in the shrine touching the thing, and she was like, that's my favorite. Her sister walked up and says, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, she's came back. She's like, oh, I don't know. Let's just like, get a weapon. Let's just get, you know, it was like, I don't know. I like that though. So they could really explore that.
Yeah, you know, Kush, you really missed out on hating her by not watching part 5.
Yeah, you had to see 5 because they mimic it in this film too. Like they like the whole thing about how people hate her and people are throwing drinks at her and shit. Like that was like, and it's like, oh, I don't know why she had a moment where she was crying. She said, I don't know why people don't like me. I'm not a killer.
I can tell you because your dumbass character came from Modesto because. Like
Modesto.
So in part 5, you missed that backstory.
Yeah,
we catch up with her and she's in Modesto, and it's like, what the fuck?
And part 6 was so meta in a sense. They used that real life experience and put that into her character, which worked.
So pause. So I'm guessing Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera, while sisters, do not have the same father. True or false?
No, they don't.
Okay, so they do not have the same father. Okay. So Melissa Barrera, I remember Scream Part 1, and Skeet Ulrich is maybe 18 at most, and then he's dead. So I remember him being a big puss hound. Like I'm pretty sure he was sleeping with more women than just Nev Campbell, but that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. So do we know who Melissa Barrera's mother is? Because it never comes up in this film.
Yes, Chris. It does. Part 6, part 5 too. It opens up the opening thing with Jenna Ortega. They mention the mom. Her whole phone call is about, oh, I'm calling for Christina, and she's like, oh, she's not home. You know, this is the guy from AA. This is her opening phone call. So apparently she's a drunk, but when she was in high school or whatever, I guess she hooked up with Billy. She's Latina, so you know they like to get babies early, and so she popped out Miss Sam. Yes. So
dude, why are all the women there drunk?
I don't know.
Yeah, because Sydney's mom was drunk too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Maureen Prescott. Yeah. But in part 6, they mentioned her briefly because they're like, oh, why? Where's the mom? Like, you know, she's in London, by the way. And she told Tara. Tara's like, oh yeah, she cut me off too. XYZ. Yeah. So they mentioned the mom briefly. She's in London.
Why do they all go?
So
to
mom
London?
is still in London.
Know.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
All right.
The mom's alive, but she cut off
what other
Sam,
thing? Was it Full House where they're like, oh, the girls are in London now?
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so fucking dumb. It's like the New York on the other side of the world.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's the same thing they did with this one. We're like, where's Sydney? She's like, Sydney deserves her happy ending. Leave her alone.
Sydney got the fuck out of there.
She did. And she does deserve her. She needs, and deserves her flowers. But I don't know. The mom I'm interested in because they could entertain that because that bitch, how you going to disown 2 of your daughters? I know one was from a dark past, but you have a perfectly new daughter that, but she probably hates them too because Sam ruined her relationship with Tara's dad because she knew that Billy was her dad because she read, I guess, her mom's journal from part 5. You didn't watch it. So I'm trying to explain it. But anyway, so Tara's lost her dad because he left the mom, which is Christina, because he didn't know that Sam wasn't his daughter because she was sleeping and thought Bob in high school. I guess. I don't know. But that he left her because I guess, I don't know.
Dude, he left immediately too from the story they tell.
Because of that, she left. Because I don't know. I was confused by that slightly because didn't she already have, unless she got with him directly after she was with Billy.
Probably. Or
because
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. Sorry.
I see what you mean. Also, Kush, be ready because Scream came out on Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Terrell's seen it twice already. So he's loaded.
I love it.
I follow Terrell on Instagram. His mom. It was a beautiful family moment.
Oh
That's
yeah,
Terrell
and they all loved it.
with 2 E's, 2 R's, 2 L's, 2 8s on Instagram.
2 8s.
Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling. I'll let you guys talk about Scream 6. Russell, what did you think of it?
I hated it. I think Ghostface needs
Wow.
to go away. No, I loved it too. Actually, Terrell, if you want to go ahead and give me shit now for not remembering Woodsboro.
I was shocked. I was at work. I already rewinded through Clark's talking because he was spoiling Luther. But then I get to the point where Russell's like, oh yeah, they moved away from. He was like, what is that place that movies are from?
Dude,
I was like, the whole storyline is about Woodsboro, and you didn't even know.
It's been very long. We've been putting on the film fest.
We're
up. I was up.
You just rolled on over that.
I had to, because in the back. So again, we're referring to the Overlook hour that I just recorded like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept wanting to say Stars Hollow. And I was like, I ain't doing that.
You didn't.
I know.
Oh my God.
There was going to be no coming back from that.
No,
Is that where the blob was from?
No, that's
Stars
where
Hollow?
fucking. No, worse. Terrell, you know what it is?
No, I don't.
Gilmore Girls.
Oh, bitch, I don't watch that.
Oh.
I don't watch the Gilmore. That's too white for me.
Oh my God.
I watch Dawson's Creek.
Hell no. I feel like in Fantasy California, Stars Hollow's right next to Woodsboro. They're right next
Are
to
you
each other.
serious?
They have to.
No,
be.
they're not.
The same bitches live. Except
No, they don't.
they all drunk in
Woodsboro
Stars
is Northern
Hollow.
California.
Well, they drunk apparently in Woodsboro
Dude,
too.
They all
Yeah.
fucking left.
Woodsboro is confirmed for Marin County.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Santa Rosa.
we know the location, but
yeah.
if you want to go to that original Scream house, you got to hop a fucking fence.
Mhm.
It's a big property, and they got a electric gate up there. I mean, it's not going to shock you.
Yeah, I
but
bet they do.
yeah, it's a fucking. That's an iconic moment at the end of part 1. That beautiful exterior shot of
Oh,
that
yeah.
house.
I love it.
And they try to recreate it in 5, right?
They did. Yep. Stu's
I
house.
don't know. It didn't do it for me.
Yeah,
though.
Kush, why didn't you watch 5? It goes back
I
to
had
Stu's
COVID.
house.
And then I just didn't go
Well,
back.
you got a Paramount Plus subscription?
I don't have one.
What? Nobody had
You
a
don't get
bootleg you could have
Blu-rays?
bought?
I know, no bootleg. Oh my God.
I'm trying to support the artist now in my old age, sir.
That's
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, that market really has fallen through, though. I don't see the dudes on the corner anymore
Oh,
selling
yeah.
those little plastic CD cases.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Those
I
were the
think
shit.
I did have Scream 4, though. I think my dad bought a bootleg.
Really?
He used to come back from work and be like, "Oh, look at what I got." I'm like, well, nobody
I saw
want to
that
watch this
Midnight
shit.
Show. I love
I
that.
don't know. So the only bootlegs I ever bought was on Canal Street in New York City. Don't tell the police out there. Anyway, but everything else was always
We ain't
through
talking no
Justin
cops.
TV.
Yeah, we ain't talking no cops. We watch
Justin
Scream
TV
6.
sounds like a gay porn site.
Justin, Justin would hate to hear that, but
Then wouldn't you know about it?
No, because Justin TV, get it? Justin, like
Yeah,
a white
yeah.
boy named Justin, like something out of the Swallowed movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
just because it's always a fun history. Justin TV. One day, this guy named Justin Kahn decided, like, I'm gonna weld
make it con.
a mini webcam into my glasses, and I'm just gonna walk around for 24 hours with this on. I don't know where he's getting the Wi-Fi from in 2007, but he is. And then it just takes off. All of a sudden, I used to describe it as YouTube but live, and now we have YouTube Live. But for a while, they're like, it was just. There was a couple of people that are just doing live streams. Like, look at me. Like, I'm just hanging out at the grocery store. Oh, I'm milking a cow or whatever. I'm taking a nap. And then there were folks like, here are all the Russian bootlegs. Here are all my favorite bootlegs. You want to see Terminator 4? We got Terminator 4. You want to see the newest Star Trek 2009? We got that. You want to see just Paranormal Activity? It's all there. So
now I know you love talking about Justin TV. So I got a question for you. Was there any incentive to put up any of that? Like, were they monetizing people? Could you make money from putting up a Russian bootleg?
Not at that time, but they were talking to us because I was doing pro wrestling shows at a venue called the DNA Lounge. It still exists. It's on 11th and Howard in San Francisco. And they had a side gimmick that not too many people knew about, where they had all their security cam footage streaming on Justin TV because they knew the guy. It was a weird setup. So I was just like, how can I take? We're trying to do a live pro wrestling event. We don't want spoilers out. We're trying to sell a DVD from this, but if we work in this venue, they're not turning these cameras off, so anyone can see our show for free.
Yeah.
They don't even have to come to the venue. They can just watch the show for free. So how do I take advantage of that? And while going through it, I was like, oh my God, I'm watching the newest Adam Sandler flick. Oh my God, I'm watching this. I'm watching a new Star Trek. Like we just got into this whole rabbit hole in trying to discover what we could do with the marketing for it. So that's where that's our experience with Justin TV. And then it was in San Francisco, so it was just off of 3rd Street. So we just took a bus ride there one day and we're like, hey, local pro wrestler here.
Wow.
We do a thing, like create a channel for us. And they did. And then they were like, we think we could do a pay-per-view thing here. And we were not that strong enough yet. But they were like, we think we could make money with your product. And we couldn't pull the trigger fast enough. And now it's Twitch TV and they can do anything they want and whatever. So
well, on Twitch you can still make money. Bring it back.
It is very hard to organize pro wrestling, guys.
I believe it.
All the steroids. I know you believe it with the film festival, but here's the problem: the film festival doesn't talk back. It doesn't say like, "I don't like that you didn't put me in the 8th spot. You should put me in the 4th spot."
Oh,
the
I
film
don't know,
doesn't
dude.
tell you that ever.
Directors definitely do.
Oh, really?
Hey, can you move my film back? I'm not flying in till blank. Or you should try rejecting a movie and get an email and be like, it's a thing. But
back to Scream 6.
Back to Scream 6.
I just want to say real quick, we
Scream what?
We went down a rabbit hole with that Justin TV, but Scream 666.
Thank you.
The 666 episode, COVID anniversary. Let's do it. But Scream 6 was extremely brutal, and I feel like it's the most brutal of the whole franchise.
Easy.
And everybody was getting stabbed the fuck up. There was 4 characters that got stabbed brutally that I thought would die, and they all live. So let's talk about it. So when who asked me that? Mikey when we were after the movie said, "What's your favorite kill?" I had to think about it because not many people died.
I know. It was a trick question.
Yes, it was. I was like, is he telling a joke on me? Because like Mindy got stabbed quite a bit. And that's the thing. I also like when these people were getting attacked in New York. People don't give a fuck. Like she was on a train. There's all these people. She's laying there, and this guy with his headphones on was looking at her. He didn't even react. So I guess they see this stuff all the time.
It was like the Oscars. Yeah, Will Smith.
I like. Oh my god. I like the phone call that Sam got outside. Anybody outside could have been the killer. I like also that it opened up with a reveal. Technically, there was 4 killers in this movie. This movie was great. I loved all. Great.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Technically, there are.
Because Jason at the beginning, he killed his film teacher. And Samara Weaving, she's great, by the way. Love her. And she was drinking Espolon tequila and made me go buy me a bottle. I had me a couple shots.
Yeah, you should have brought that over here.
I should have. It's on my counter. Yep. It's more than half a bottle left.
I could answer your trick question, though. Okay. My favorite non-kill was easily Chad.
Let's talk about it. Your turn.
Dude, Chad, it's the first
Chad
time.
Not dead?
What?
Did you watch the movie?
I saw the movie. Is Chad not dead? I thought he was dead as hell.
How much were you drinking? I know.
Were you high?
A lot.
When you come
and high.
Hell yeah.
My name's Kush Hayes, Terrell. Of course I'm high.
I get it. The microdose.
I smoke weed all day, bro.
Kush, when was the last time we hung out? Because I know you gave me and Terrell an edible.
Yeah, and I've been taking edibles. Kush should be happy. I've been taking a lot of edibles.
The Nightmare on Elm Street Film Festival. Did you?
Yeah, he remember that.
Let's talk about it. Wait, we keep getting off topic. I want to talk Scream.
I know, but you got to bring that up.
Okay, so you were with us. You saw Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 with our old girl, right? With the $12 dress. Do you remember that?
I do.
What the fuck is her name?
She was not having a good night, despite how hard she was trying to sell. I'm having a great night. Like, you're
Lisa Wilcox.
You're stumbling.
Lisa
Wilcox.
I think she was on something.
She was in her $20 Amazon dress.
And if you remember, she did mention that she did a project, a reality show that she couldn't talk about yet. Have you heard about this news?
Was it MILF
She's on fucking MILF Manor.
MILF Manor.
I like that.
With her youngest son looking for love. And she's on here talking about how she had sex recently with a man that was 27 years younger than her. And I bet you, in my head, it went straight to the cons because she'd probably be flirting and she'd be on them drugs. So she meet these little young nerds that go to meet her to get pictures and get their Nightmare on Elm Street sign. She probably took them to the back and fucked because they be doing that. Like the Skeet Ulriches and the Alex Vincents who played in Chucky, the little boy Andy. Yeah, they be flirting with these girls and taking them back to their room. I listened to
the hotel's right there. So.
Yeah,
the hotel is right there.
Oh, girl, Scout Taylor Compton and Danielle Harris.
Yep.
They used to talk about it, but I don't listen to them anymore. But I don't.
They tried to cancel Jamie Lee.
They sure did. And after that, I stopped listening to those hoes.
Really?
But anyways, MILF Manor.
We could. Damn it, dude! You just brought up a whole other thing I want to talk about. We're running short on time here. What does Scout Taylor Compton have to say? Because she's part of the Rob Zombie Halloween films.
Yes.
Both of them are.
Right.
Yep. And so is Danielle Harris. She goes topless and she doesn't ever do that, but she did it for
I don't remember that name, but that's okay.
Danielle Harris. She was in Halloween 4 and 5. She was a little girl. She was in Hatchet 2 and 3. Okay.
Sure. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
How dare you, Kush?
She just got her tits done and she was posting thirst traps. And then on the podcast, she complains about the DM she gets. How you gonna complain? But you put your titties out.
But they're not good enough.
These men be wanting her to like nude photos and shit, and she be posted. She's like, I don't know why I get creepy guys in my DMs. Bitch, you lips, her titties out.
They probably listen to her fucking podcast.
I don't listen to it anymore. But the girls, around the time when Halloween Ends came out, Kush, to answer your question, Jamie Lee Curtis was doing a lot of press from the beginning of the day to the very, very end. This woman's old. How old is she? 70, 80? She was 70s. On her feet. Yeah, she got her little hands and feet on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, whatever it is over there in LA.
She has an Academy Award now.
Now she does. Congrats to her. Congrats, Jamie Curtis. I love her. Icon. Anyway, so she's doing hella interviews that whole day. And then these two little bitches, they claim that they tried to make it sound bad. Like, oh, we had to Uber from X, Y, and Z. Bitch, y'all got money. Y'all could have drove. Yeah. Anyway, so they got in their little Ubers. I guess they had an issue with that. They got to the event. They saw Jamie Lee Curtis. They both approached her. Mind you, Jamie Lee Curtis was doing interviews and talking to people all damn day. And they approached her, and she didn't know these bitches because she doesn't watch horror films. And they walk up to her like, oh, I play you in a remake. And she's just like, and I guess she was very short with them and she didn't know who they were, I guess. And then they were hurt and they got in their podcast crying and boohooing and talking all this shit about her, saying, oh, we don't want people to think differently about her. And I think they went in on her more because they scrapped their original interview and they redid it. Those crocodile tears that Miss Scout Taylor Compton had, let me tell you, that's why I was so thrown off. I was like, she redid it to try to make it not sound as bad. Yeah. I bet you because it wasn't bad in the instance anyways. They just wanted to get the traction and all that stuff to their show. But I get it. In my opinion, Jamie Lee Curtis is old. Not in a bad way, but I'm like, she is doing
she's elderly. She's literally elderly
and
now.
She was on her feet and she took hella pictures. When she gets to them, she probably and there's a very nice picture with all the girls. Danielle Harris, they all have a great picture. But I guess she was probably tired at that point.
And Heather's there too, right?
Yeah, Heather Langenkamp's in the picture, and all the girls are in the picture, but they didn't like their interaction with her. They're like, oh, don't meet the people you like, don't meet your icons. So because she was so short with them and didn't know who they were upset.
The thing is too, Jamie Lee's Hollywood royalty.
I know.
I think she's kind of a more classy lady.
Yes, but do you think that was bad? How Jamie Lee Curtis? I don't think so.
Well, the way they put it,
I understand Jamie Lee Curtis curses like a sailor, so I wouldn't say she's classy. Oh, yeah. However, I agree with the royalty, and she's also she doesn't know who fucking 23-year-old girls are playing a movie she has no part in anymore.
The way they painted her to be so bad. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. The way they said it went down was Danielle was just like, oh, I play you in the, and she was like, I don't watch horror movies.
She did. Yeah, basically. Yep. She doesn't though. She said that many times.
I heard on the Oscar speech she gave, she talked about being in genre film the whole time, and I'm like, all right.
And she thanked the horror fans.
Yeah, she's like, I'm in the movies, I don't watch them.
Period. That's fine. Yeah, she was in Prom Night, Terror Train, Halloween. Yeah.
And again. Queen. Her mom.
My biggest complaint about Scream 6, getting back to Scream 6 before we go here, guys. So we are to believe that a New York cop who later becomes a New York cop, but he pays off a bunch of California cops to release all this evidence, all this mass murder evidence, so that he can create a whole shrine to the Ghostface killer. There's only 6 movies at this point, but there are apparently 9 killers before all of this. And then he's also paying the rent on a New York theater that, while run down, is still probably super duper expensive. This is my biggest complaint about the film. I still had a great time, but do you guys have a rebuttal for that? Like, of course he paid all that rent, Kush.
I didn't look at that too deeply, but that was, if you watch part 5, Richie was the killer.
I think they do explain it though, because when Gail's doing her journalism,
she does.
So here's the thing: we're spoiling it.
Yeah.
So the family,
we're spoiling it.
It was a police family.
Yes.
But I believe the dude was a cult of personality. So he had gotten other dudes, like one of them who dies in the beginning of the movie. They were affluent, rich brats.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that one of them rented it out.
No, the dad rented it. The dad rented it out to the detective for his son. All that stuff was Richie's. They play his short films. Richie was a huge horror fan, but he did not portray that in the 5th film. He pretended like he didn't know horror. That's why when it was revealed to him being the killer, it's like, oh yeah, he was faking it. All that stuff was Richie's. He said it in his monologue at the end. This is all Richie's. I got this from. He's a collector. That's right. He threw it in our face. I felt seen.
So who's the mom? Does she have money?
I don't know. They didn't talk about the mom.
Where are the moms in this fucking world?
The collector, Richie, the killer in part 5, collected all that. So he was a huge Stab fan. So that was Richie's. That's why he was on the Reddit and he found Amber.
Yeah.
All right. And then the dad, to hide it, he put it under Jason and Greg's name. Jason and Greg were the Ghostface killers.
That's why I thought, okay.
Sisters.
So I fell for it too.
They were in film class with Richie. They know of Richie. They want to finish Richie's film from part 5. He said, we're going to finish Richie's film. So that's why they want to kill the Carpenter sisters. That was the be the end of Richie's movie, but the real Ghostface, the detective, knocked them out because he wanted to do it because he wanted revenge, like Scream 2, Mrs. Loomis.
Yeah.
So he got his daughter and son Ethan, the virgin, and they helped him. And I knew Ethan was killer from the beginning. He was just too annoying for me.
Do you think he's really a virgin?
Yes.
Oh,
I do.
Nah.
And I love Tara's stat. She gagged him, deep throat him, and turned that knife.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. She was like die a virgin and ripped his. Oh, so great. But then he didn't die.
There is a thing that I meant to go into on the Overlook, but I got cut off because these bored ass people, they didn't love Scream like I did.
I loved it.
One thing I will say about slasher movies is they only reinforce this idea that you can't trust the government to protect you because the police never do shit against these people.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting how Scream 6 kind of one up that, because in Scream, the police always are just an obstacle.
Yeah.
They always lock down the cast. They always prevent them from leaving, which is the thing that they wanted to do in this movie.
Yeah.
I think that's super
kill
important.
Box.
Yeah.
And they try to pin it on Kirby.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, I love Kirby too.
Kirby was a great red herring.
Yep. I like how she killed Ethan with the fucking TV to show y'all Stu hater lovers that the nigga's dead.
Hey, let me go on the record and say that I am one of those people. I would love Stu to come back.
I don't.
Matthew Lillard is probably my favorite performance. I don't know. Him and Skeet were so good.
They were great. That's the original.
They're so good.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. But I mean, I love that they did that. What was the line after the TV fell? She said something. It's like stay dead or something. Like it was very like a period to the whole
Stu.
No, in 6 when she knocks the TV over.
Oh fuck yeah, I don't remember what she said. Oh, she said I saw that in a movie once.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's what she said. She said I saw that in a movie once. Yep. So
Kush, I know you probably haven't heard about it, but the internet has been talking about Stu coming back as a potential killer again, and it's split down the middle. Terrell's been very against it. I'm like, fuck it. You can do anything.
Well, after watching 6, my rebuttal was he was stabbed so much he was losing a lot of blood. We watched part 6. Kirby got stabbed in the same spot. She got shot. She got stabbed twice and she got shot. You had
Chad.
Mindy got sliced up. She could barely even blood coming out of her mouth as she's crossing the ladder. And then she got stabbed again on the damn train. Alive and had a lot of energy. I want what she was on at the end of that movie, them drugs. And then you had fucking Chad who had 2 ghost faces stabbing him repeatedly, all up and down him, and he lived. So
he came back riding a unicycle, like, hey everybody.
Are they setting up for all these people to get stabbed the fuck up in return?
Dude, I thought it was almost like
Gail.
Gail
got
too,
fucked up too. She lived.
Well, at least she wasn't doing jumping jacks.
But I love that Gail scene. And she had her a black man. She replaced Dewey with that black. He was cute. But he didn't last long. Quinn took him out.
She didn't give a shit about that dude either.
He did not. He just gave her the phone. What you want for Chinese food? And then he was dead.
Yep.
The black dude.
By the way,
was
the ghost face threw it in her face. She's like, all those muscles didn't mean it. She's like, you goddamn right they didn't.
They did, yep. Oh, but Gail was fighting. She was punching. She was hitting. She had a great chase scene. She hit him over the head with a pan. I wish she would remember maybe she was scared. Like, you're not scared, but you know, when you're in the moment, trying to remember something, her code for the gun, and then she was shooting through the door. I love that Gail scene so much. And Gail's a bitch, and she came back to play this movie because she was super nice the past ones. Because Dewey, she was trying to be nice because he left her ass in New York, and he was already a drunk, and No,
Gail's always cool in the movie.
Yeah, but she was. Yeah, I know. But
in between the movies, she's a bitch.
She was at the end of 5. Kush, I'm sorry, I could ramble about this, but at the end of 5, she said she would not write a book. She would not write a book about what happened in Scream 5. Yep. She wanted these killers to die in anonymity, if I said that word right. So part 6, the face punch, it happened again. That was amazing, but she wrote a book about it after she said she wouldn't do it, but she did. So hold on. She said she was gonna write a book about Dewey. Where's the Dewey book? Sorry, what were you gonna say?
What is the book she wrote? Do they talk about it?
No, it's about the killings and stuff that happened in the requel.
So then it had to be in Dewey. Had to be in there.
Yeah, but she didn't write the book about Dewey that she wanted to do. Remember, she used to write a book about the guy he was, but she didn't.
Yeah, no, she wrote about how he was murdered.
No,
that's probably why she's a bitch. But I'll tell you, the movie won me over, man.
Ghostface did say, "Oh, maybe a person should make a book out for you. Your death."
Hell yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I love that movie. I'm so sorry, Kush.
I want to go watch it again.
It's so good. I'm down. But next time I want to see it is 40X. So if you're ready, because the stabbing, we're gonna get stabbed the fuck up in that 40X.
Wait, is that at the Regal?
Yes.
Oh, dude, because they have
Did they do a 40X of Scream 6?
Yes, they did. And everyone's talking about how great it was. And a lot of mist goes in your. I can't wait.
Let's go.
You want to go? Andy's down too. He said he'll go one more time.
Oh, you motherfucker! You better not go without me.
Yes, so he's down. So I'm. That's my next thing I want to do.
Kush, are you gonna come bring an edible?
Hell no. No, I sat out 3 40X. Also,
my God.
I do not want to just get punched in my ribs the entire 2 hours I'm here.
Well, get high. It'll be great. Maybe you'll remember.
I will still be high, but I will be getting punched in the ribs.
All right, we'll bring you a bootleg.
Oh my God!
Bring me the bootleg, please.
We'll 40X it for you.
Bootleg.
We'll stab you while you're watching it.
No, bet.
Oh man!
Don't worry, nobody dies from being stabbed anymore.
Not in that movie.
That was so 94.
Apparently,
they were stabbed the fuck up,
dude. The final, the fucking cop. He got stabbed up his arm, down his.
Yo, she went in though. The theater was loving that though. When the part where Tara took out Ethan and the part that she took out Detective Bailey.
Yeah,
the crowd was clapping. People were standing up in the theater. It was an experience. I loved it.
I remember folks started clapping for Bailey, and then that was about it. That was the most interaction we had. I was like, "Oh, who's that blonde chick?"
Really?
Like, I don't remember Bailey. I
She's a
I know
brunette.
Hayden Panettiere was supposed to be in it.
Oh, Detective Bailey was the Detective Bailey. He was the Dermot. Yeah, he's the killer. The daddy.
Detective Bailey.
Detective Bailey was the dad. His daughter was Quinn Bailey. Quinn, whatever. The redhead.
Hayden Panettiere is not.
No, that's Kirby.
Not Dermot Mulroney. I'm talking about Kirby. No one knew.
Oh, that just you kept saying Bailey. I'm sorry.
Isn't that Bailey?
That's Kirby. Kirby Reed.
Detective Bailey is Dermot. Yeah.
Jesus H. Christ.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Wait, you got your flash with you again?
You don't be sorry. You corrected me. Thank you so much. So, guys, we got to get you to your next production here. Let's talk about Russell Fischer, Terrell Trotty, UFF 666, and you can get your tickets at UnnamedFootageFestival.com, and the YouTube page is the Overlook Theater, Twitter, and guys, go support the Unnamed Footage Festival 666, please.
Kush, I love you, man.
Thanks for having us. This was fun. I can talk about Scream.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
hugs and kisses, and for Lord Battle Russell Fischer, for Terrell Trotty, I've been Kush Hayes. You've been you.
Microdose, 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 yeah, microdose.
from the BosNet family.
Oh, bitch, I don't watch that.
Oh.